Hello and welcome to a review of The Long Journey Home by Daedalic Studio West and published by Daedalic Entertainment. And The Long Journey Home is a bit of a mix of different genres. It's a bit of space exploration, it's a bit of a mining, bit of a combat, bit of a diplomacy with aliens and all kinds of stuff. It's a bit of roguelike as well. The galaxy map is always randomly generated from seeds, so if you want to, you can replay the seed. But other than that, it's always randomly generated, which makes it awesome. Let's give it a spin. I'll show you how the game works. So let's start a jump mission here, and this is after the first patch of the game hit. So there's a bit of additions they did within the first week after the release. Some of them were very necessary additions and very good additions as well. So anyways, when you go to a new journey, you select 4 crew members to your Project Daedalus, which is the humanity's first jump-capable ship, going to Alpha Centauri. But as the Long Journey Home indicates, things might not go exactly as planned. And you have a selection of 10 crew members here, and you take 4 of them. Each of them start with an item, like Simon here starts with a salvage kit, distress beacon, critter repellents, and so on and so on. So selecting the character mainly has effect on the item you get, and then each character has their kind of specialty that they can do with items and encounters and events. What you would of course expect. Like if you take here Alessandra, who is an engineer. She's good at repairing things, repairing devices, also has personal equipment for repairing them. And then there's events like you find a shipwreck, sending an engineer in there to check out the wreck is usually a good idea. And selecting the right character to the right task is quite important, and it will help you actually succeed on those tasks. So getting a proper crew to your playstyle is important. I like Alessandra a lot, so we'll grab her. There's some silly choices as well, such as Zoe, which is a civilian observer. She's a blogger basically, but that doesn't make her useless for a space mission. These kind of stranger options, they have their own strengths on the mission as well. So you don't need just like a test pilot and astronaut and engineers and scientists in there. You can have a couple of these stranger ones, like corporate executive. He's good at doing diplomacy with other corporate aliens, basically. But yeah, let's take archaeologist Zoe and I don't know. Let's take test pilot. It doesn't really matter. Then you got the ship selection. There's 3 different ships in the game. The Ulysses, which is the basic ship, basically has kind of average of everything. Then you have Endurance, which has crazy hull strength. Hull strength. Fuel tank, lots of jump fuel for the exotic material. Very low jump range and maneuverability. So it's your heavy duty cargo ship. And then you have the opposite, which is the Discovery. So made of paper but jumps like mad. My favorite ship out of these. And no space. Let's go with the Discovery. And the Ulysses is of course kind of the middle road there. But we'll take a Ulysses with which color would we take? There. Black and white. With a bit of blue, hint of blue there. Sounds good. Then you select your lander. So there's 3 landers as well. Odyssey, which is your heavy drilling lander. Serenity, which is the middle of the pack lander again. So nice hull strength, nice fuel, nice drill, and decent space and everything. And then you have a Pathfinder, which is my favorite out of these, which is the paperweight, but huge fuel and everything. Pathfinder. I like this one the most. It's like your exploration more than your drilling and everything. Lander. We'll take that again. And then you have the seed here. So it's suggesting a Firefly seed for us, which actually sounds pretty fun. I've done No Man's Sky, I've done a Mass Effect, I've done all kinds of space games and different seeds. We'll go with the Firefly. Firefly sounds awesome. There is definitely references to other sci-fi games, movies, TV series, books in this game. As you should when you are doing a space game. Let's go. And here you choose how you want to start the game. So they added the story mode in the newest patch, which is for newer players, and it was very much, in my opinion, a needed addition. It's basically the easy mode of the game. It's where you should start now that it's actually in the game, to kind of learn the mechanics and everything before you switch to the higher difficulties of adventure mode and then finally the rogue mode. And the biggest difference with this is that in the story mode, you find a lot of easier planets. Aliens are really easy to fight off, you get good money out of their deals, and also your ship degrades a lot slower, like massively slower than in exploration and especially in the rogue mode. So that's a big difference. Not everything is not on fire all the time, so it gives you a lot more time to check out things and learn how to deal with properly things instead of just oh shit, everything is fire, we're gonna die. And try to learn the game while doing that, which I have to do before the patch came. This story mode. Adventure mode is like the normal mode. They kind of intended difficulty. It has the rewind time as well if you die. I haven't actually used the rewind at all, because that's not my style of playing these games. And then a rogue mode has no rewind. Death is death, and then it's even harder on everything else as well. I would like if there was even a middle of the line between the exploration and the rogue mode with no rewind, kind of like hardcore mode, but not the hardcore rogue mode. Like hardcore mode where it's kind of same as the exploration but no rewind. But there's definitely a bit more wiggle space between these difficulty modes if they want to add more in the future. Between a story mode and exploration mode, there could be also a different one. Even if even better would be giving us sliders to select how bad we want things and which things we want to be bad and whatnot. But it's a good selection now. Now that the story mode is in the game, it's much better than it was at launch. And then you can start from Earth, which gives you basically tutorial how to do things, and then you can directly jump into action. And we'll probably do let's go for the tutorial. Tutorial shows you things which you wanna probably know, so let's go for that. And it shows you the bit of the basic story of the game as well. The story is kind of very loose. You end up stranded on the other side of the galaxy, and then you have to make your way home. And you kind of build the story as you encounter strange shit in there. So the journey begins. We need to launch and gain height until autopilot takes over and takes us out of here. So you can use a mouse and keyboard. So for the controls and controller. But mouse and keyboard was kind of rough for me to learn, and I started using kind of mix. I fly the lander and in combat and in asteroid fields with the controller, and I use keyboard and mouse for everything else. But yeah, basically for this you just hold up mouse and point where you want to fly like this. And same with the controller. And I do definitely prefer this controller mode. Let's just fly off into space. And learning the ladder mechanics, how to control it, and how to fly in space properly and combat and all of that, is one of the main things that will improve your runs. It will be very frustrating at first. Your first several playthroughs or tries will be trying to learn those lander mechanics, and then also in space here, we are around Earth in a sol system. You can see that there is a yellow dwarf here, a couple molten planets, the Earth, the moons, and then gas giants, and we can see what kind of materials there is also. There's a ship release station there in the Mars where we need to go, and you can also see information about the Earth. It's a harmless planet, liquid. Has a bit of a wind. There's humans and structures there, so now you can see also what you can mine from there. And who's your pilot and lander. But yeah, let's. So with W you can change the information here, and here we see our system info, and we need to go here on the blinking star, and we have moons and things here. So you can see the orbits and everything, and you will see our orbit here. And this kind of has the orbit mechanics that help you fly. So if you want to fly just directly against your orbit, you're gonna waste a lot of fuel that you have. But you should try to use the gravities and the planets and everything to fling around properly. So we'll just wait until this is here, and then we thrust from there to get a nice exit from there, from the Earth, and then we start making our way towards Mars here. Just to get a bit more speed. There's my allergic wife in the background. If you heard that. Down here we have info of our ship, our hull strength, fuel, our jump fuel, and our crew who's around. And you can see when these blink red when you take damage on them, and also our systems that we have. So let's slow down here. The gravity bends, as you can see the background. It's green otherwise, but when you have a gravity, it bends down, and you can see actually how much gravity something has with that. And then we slowed down to have a nice orbit, and with the spacebar we can circularize the orbit around the planet, and we get the info here. So we're on Mars now, and the mission forecast is harmless. There's again humans, and we need to land on here, so let's land here with Q. And here we go. And I'll switch here for the controller for this. So as you land to a planet, you come in pretty hot, as you can see here, and fly around. And you should try to firstly neutralize your vertical speed. So ship starts like this shape, and it kind of fights against both vertical and horizontal speed. I like to make it flat and then slow it down to a vertical kind of zero, where it's still going down a bit, but that's okay. And then I fight the horizontal speed. And usually, if it's a heavy gravity planet, I just this one is only a low gravity, so it's not that bad. But on like a very heavy and extreme gravity planets, I usually do like a loop around the whole planet. If you go from side to side on the bottom map, you see you just loop around to the other side. So that's a good way to do it. If you fight against both the altitude, the vertical and horizontal speed at the same time, you will crash land on the ground. So just try to neutralize the vertical speed first, and then horizontal speed, and it will help you a lot. Let's just slowly make our way here. So the red thing in the middle shows there's some kind of building or ruins or something down here. If it's green, it means it's a biotope, so there's some kind of vegetation or life form down here. And also materials will be marked differently, but we'll see them in a moment once we get going. So let's park here, and we get to the other important part of the game, the diplomacy mode, basically the comms that you do with the aliens. So here we are talking to the station here in Mars, and we're grabbing the big EM tank, which refills our jump drive, and you can do all kinds of discussion shares. And they're also giving us a shield, so we'll grab that experimental shielding, and then we just head back to space. And there we go, our first successful landing to Mars. And next things we need is refill our EM materials from the tank. So we'll go back into here. So in this this opens with tab here. So here you have the comms that we were using a second ago. You have also database, which gives you your mission report. This is basically showing your quests. So this is our start quest, and then you have logbook of what have you done, how we are doing, etc. Your seed is also shown here. Then you have locations. If there are some special planets and things, they will be listed here. In the bridge, you can see your ship information, so we have no fuel, and you can see if stuff are broken here. You can also destroy your ship parts here if you want to get rid of the lasers. Also the empty slots where we can add stuff like the shield that we just got. And then same for the lander. 3 slots. We can abandon it, and then there's a hull strength and a drill and ejector seats and things for the lander. In the resources tab, we can use resources such as the hydrogen we have here stored to refuel the ship. Same for the EM, if you have some EM material here, the ship cargo or lander cargo, and then repairs for shield, both ship and the lander. And you can also throw out materials if you don't have space, especially like in this small ship. Then you have quarters. This shows you your crew members, and you can switch the lander pilot here. So we can, for example, set Malcolm to be the lander pilot, and you can see if they have wounds. 5 wounds, and your character dies. And then we go to the lab, and lab is where you use the items. And this is actually a fairly important part of the game, because here you can do lots of things with the items. Like here we have the shielding, and then we can just have someone like Alessandra just install that shielding, and now we have that here as a part of our ship. So this is basically how you use items, and then refuel our gas tank as well. And you have your medkits, Zoe's laptop, and there's all kinds of special items you get here, like the crystal skull, which actually is probably really good just selling. Zoe's laptop is also great for selling, but for example, Alexandra's toolbox can be used to repair one of these broken devices if something breaks. But anyways, we have both of those done, and we can do our first jump. So we need to hold thrust and boost at the same time to do the jump. We'll just fling around out of Mars and then hold that down. And let's jump to Alpha Centauri. Or not. So that's how you jump out of a system. And our journey begins. And as I said, it doesn't go exactly as intended. There's a bit of a small problem while flying here. And we end up totally not in Alpha Centauri, but somewhere very, 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 very different. And there you see different star clusters, and we need to make it back home through all of this space. We need to find gates, we need to find aliens, we need to find resources, and everything to survive. And there Malcolm took a concussion from that flying. We also probably broke something. Usually you get a wound or two and a device broken, but I think we are playing on story mode, so it's a bit easier. And then, of course, in rogue mode and exploration mode, you lose even more. So this is one of the other flying modes of the game. This is the how you do combat and how you mine asteroids and visit space stations also. So here's a station there that we are going, and you can also enable your weapons and shields, and they show you this guidance system, which was added in the patch recently, and then you can shoot out with your lasers and do some combat. Let's just fly the sphere here and see what's it about. So this is the initial starting story mode. If you skip the tutorial part, it starts you coming out from this sphere basically in the orbit. So this is all just a tutorial here, and it's just let's explore this. I'm gonna quickly just skip through the text here as much as I can. It's just some story. What signal should we send? So this game does this a lot to you. It's like, yeah, let's send this signal. It's like no choice. There's stuff where it just asks, do you gonna go up or down, and the options are left and right or something, and similar. Yeah, let's get the translation matrix, and there's also fun options where both options are like yes and yes, or no and no, and things like that. So it's great. But this is how you interact with most aliens and ruins and wrecks and things that you explore. So we got that keystone, and now we need to get out of here. So it's the same jump mechanics as with the ship, you just hold thrust and boost basically at the same time, and you speed out from there. Usually you want to kind of clear the asteroid fields and things before you jump, so you don't crash into something. Alright, and now the real game starts. So mining, repairing, refueling. We need to get some resources and fix our broken ship and refuels. So fuel that. So let's check out. So there's a good planet over there, but you also want to check out all these planets. So we'll just check this moon here. Do a cycle around it. So there's a biotope here and hydrogen. No wind, no atmosphere, no hazards, average gravity. So it's pretty harmless, and we definitely want to check out the biotope. And I think we took. No, we didn't. We didn't take the biologist. Well, test pilot. You're a go on a biotope. So, for example, when you see a biotope, and if you have the more scientist type of characters, like the biologist or a theoretical physicist, you usually want to send those to check out that kind of deals. So the blue there is the hydrogen. Here I'm again going to reduce my vertical speed and then lower my horizontal speed. And I'm gonna grab the hydrogen here. So hydrogen or gases, they vent out from these whatever they are. But anyways, they went in here. So you just fly into the cloud here and you hold the mouse button down to slowly drain it. And you see the bar there. It's your mining bar or gas collection. And you want to not go too much to red, because red starts to damage you. So you just want to grab a little bit and go from those. Unless you're really desperately needing, and then you can dip into the red. But just dip a bit and take that. And then we go check the biotope here. Lots of strange mushroom things there on top of this small hill here. Just land there, like a glove. Lots of mushrooms. And they are feasting on something. Let's explore this area. Interesting looting plant. Well, let's grab the plant. And this is how you usually do it with the place. You explore a bit and you find something, an item or two, or you get hurt if it's a bad event. Some of them require items as well, like there is radiation and you need a peripheral shielding from those. You need salvage kits for some of the wrecks and things like that. So items are also used to get more out of those. And usually when you use an item, they usually give you something very good. Let's check out the quest here for that planet. Purple markers like this one are always space wrecks or something like that. Like this one was the sphere. Usually it's a spaceship that's broken down and you can go explore. This is a asteroid field. That's a white dwarf, I think. Yeah, a white dwarf. You can see they correspond to these. So there's a white dwarf in the middle, and you can also see what's the materials and resources in here. So probably on this moon we get something nice. And then we check out the asteroid field, and then we do our first jump towards home. And in this game you want to be constantly basically getting new items from ruins, wrecks and those places, and then you want to keep your hull, fuel and everything filled, and then also have some in the ship as well for selling and for a future as well. You want to be basically planning ahead several jumps to next system and how you get credits and all of that. If you're just scampering to put out fires right now, you're probably going to be losing it very soon, because you don't have that plan for the future ready to go. That helped me a lot, like checking the galaxy map and checking like next 5 jumps where I'm going and what I'm gonna do to get there, instead of just working on the current issue. So we have a gray there, which is the iron or metals, and then a blue gas again, and then a EM material for the green. So all the good stuff we have and need. And this ship has 6 spaces, so you can have 3 different materials in 2 of them. So we're grabbing 2 of these and 2 of the each. You can grab more also, but I want all of these. So we'll just drill for the magnesium here. Actually, I'm only gonna get 1 magnesium, I think, because this is already going to the red part there, and I don't want to damage my lander too much. And if you damage your lander while you're drilling, for example, it damages your drill also, and your drill can get some wear and tear effects which reduce your gain and etc. And it's very expensive to repair that. And I found on my runs that it was a good idea to just stop when you go to the red bar and don't do as much wear and tear, and you'll do better on long run. Oops, bit more. There. We'll grab some sulfates. Very crappy sulfates. I'm gonna grabbing one. This actually doesn't have that good resources, but that's the nature of the random generation. Okay, and we are full. No free container because each container fits 2 of the materials. You can, if a planet is very nice with materials and you cannot get them on one go, you can actually do another multiple landings if you want to. Also, sometimes if you have a ruins, for example, that requires an engineer type of character, you can also not do the event there and just go home up to the ship and come back with a different character to complete it better. Here, let's use the resources we gained. Not much. We have actually full tank there and full everything here. We don't actually want to waste that magnesium yet. Just save that. And let's go check the asteroid field. I'll show you the mining part of the game, and then we go meet some aliens. Yeah, let's go here. Just trust a bit. With stations and asteroids and also enemy ships or alien ships, you don't need to make an orbit around them. You can just fly directly to them. You just end up on whatever side of that asteroid field or wherever you're going, depending on where you enter the area. So you can just go full speed ahead, always into an asteroid field or anything, and it's gonna be fine. Yeah, but don't do that with planets and moons. You're gonna just fling around them and end up wasting a lot of fuel trying to slow down. So here you can see the white arrows pointing down, which is the different asteroids for mining, like this one. And you just use your guns to shoot the thing apart. These are actually mining lasers that you start with. And here we got one borate, which is a EM material for the jump drive, and then there's 2 more in here. And going slow here is definitely key to not bumping into everything. Just making small bursts of movement and then turning and wheeling and dealing. You can bump very slowly to the asteroids to move them around away from your way if you want to and not take damage. But if you do crash with speed, even with shield on, you will take some damage. And I used to get a lot of damage just flying in the asteroid field and lander as well initially, before I learned how to control the ships and landers properly. And that's pretty much the first thing to learn in the game. I'm actually full. Let's see. We have borates here. So this is the problem with the small ship, that it doesn't really have cargo space, and also the lander is also small, so it doesn't also hold anything. There's one thing flying there. Just bumped into the asteroid. Let's grab this one here. Yoink! It's platinum. Good for selling. Also repair. There's actually another one there as well. Yoink! And then we just navigate out of here. There's a bit of empty space there and jump out. Jumping out from stations, asteroid fields, and these, you actually come out from the direction you leave as well. Like we jumped this way, so we're leaving from this side as well. So deciding which side you want to jump out of is actually quite important. But you have to remember how the system looked like, and you can make nice trajectories. So we are ready for the next jump. So let's do that. Just same thruster and boost at the same time, and just jump as the initial jump out of the Earth. And now we get to the galaxy map again, and we can see where we can go. So I'm playing with the longest jump range ship, so we have pretty good range. If you play with the normal one, it's a lot shorter, and then the cargo hauler, it's very short. We could probably only jump like here or there with that one, but this ship gives a lot more options. And you can kind of see here where you want to go. And what do we have here? There's an station there, so we don't have any station within range right now. And there's a gate there. There's gates between these clusters. So there's a gate here that goes to here. There's probably a gate here that goes to there, and there's probably a gate up here that goes up there. Yep. So you can choose your way pretty much through the galaxy here, where you want to go. Different aliens control different regions, and you find different aliens in different areas, and they control also different gates. And if you are in good terms with them, it's cheaper to use their gates, and if you're in a war with them, then good luck using their gates. But yeah, let's jump here, and then we can jump here to check out the station. I need to do a double jump. So we're slowly making our way back to home now. And let's see what do we have here. So you can initially see what planets there are. There's 2 suns actually here. So red giant there and another one there. We have actually Good Heist Herald coming behind us. So this is one of the aliens. You always get these aliens coming to visit you at the start of the game, and then randomly throughout the playthrough. These are one of the stranger aliens called Good Heist, and this is their herald. They're kind of religious energy beings that just wear this skin. They're kind of strange, and they talk about you, about their testament and things. And the writing is pretty fun in this game. Definitely worth reading and learning about the different races. Also, they give hints about things in these, and when you do some discussion options. And let's just skip these. These guys have a lot to say. They always tell you a lot. Well, some of the aliens are a lot less wordy than these Good Heists. Come on, let's go. Yeah. We'll do your quest. They give me a quest to go explore this star system. Lost the ship. So you always get this initial quest when you start the run. There is some alien race comes and tells you a quest, because it gives you your initial money to be able to do anything pretty much. And it happens to be the Good Heist for us. Let's check out the planets here. And they will hang around here in this system. You will see a lot of different ships flying in all the different systems. There's pirates, there's traders, just random people. There's annoying miracles demanding your items. There's border patrols that check your cargo for contraband, etc., infections and things. And there's a lot to explore in the galaxy. I've played about 40 hours of the game now myself. Done a few successful runs to Earth, and I keep finding more and more things. So this planet is high risk because of the wind being violent, but there is actually a planet, a structure for the Good Heist down there, where you could do some buying and things, but we are not gonna land on that one. We are actually gonna just leave this system because we don't really need any of this right now. We could use our resource here to fill out the tank, but I'll show you another mechanic here. So you can use the suns if you don't have anything to mine for some reason, like you cannot mine if it's too bad planet or your lander is broken or something like that. You can use the suns to refill your tank by slowly, carefully skimming around the edge of the sun. And that's what it will do. It will give you a lot of radiation, and which will damage your ship and your crew, give them some burns. But sometimes it's a very, very valid tactic to do. And I do this actually quite often. The red ring there you see is the where we want to aim, and you want to skim the very edge of that red to get the most fuel with least radiation. So our tank is here filling, but we are taking radiation from the sun. There is items like the radiation shielding that will help a lot. You can also, of course, just repair your ship after this, and you can get some burn cream to your crew to heal them. We'll just fill out the tank here. There we go, our tank is full, and then we can jump. That was not bad at all. And different star types have different amount of radiation and damage, how much they do. Yellow giant, white dwarfs are very good for that. Some others not so much at all. For example, pulsars and black holes are very much not good for you. They actually damage you throughout the system while you're anywhere there, and very much when you go too close to them. Black hole actually can kill you, insta-kill you if you fly too close. Being a black hole. Any other planet or a star or sun, you can actually just fly into, and you can kind of fly through them if you need to, but you take damage. So there's a potential crash site on all of those, and then there's the gate and a mission there. So let's just jump here, another second jump, and I'll explore around a bit. And I think we're done with this quick review of the game. So I really like this game. It's a damn awesome game. It's a pulsar actually. Damn, pulsar is a bad start for sure. This seed, the Firefly seed, is not the greatest. Pulsars in the first sector or black holes in the first sector are kind of rough, because we're going to be taking a lot of damage from that. And you can see I'm not even close to the thing, and we're taking radiation, so that's not good. So let's check out a couple of these planets. If you happen to find the broken vessel, and I'll grab that. No wreckage there. Okay. Definitely a bad start having this first initial mission being in a pulsar, but that's the random generation for you, and you can get really screwed up with some of these. I've had some really bad seeds, and then I've had really nice seeds as well. There's a couple of special seeds also that make the game easier or harder or a bit different. And there's probably some hidden seeds still as well that we don't know about. And I'm sure people are gonna find also these very strange seeds just through the random generation, like in any game where there is seeded random generation. There we go. No, it's still not there. How bad luck are we having? Hopefully the planet where it is actually not gonna be really horrible as well. In the space stations and in the gates, you can always do some trading, so you can sell your junk in there. You can buy upgrades, depending on the type of the station. They might have only... oh, there it is. High risk, high gravity lightning wreckage. Nice. Let's check that. Depending on the alien race and the type of the station, you can buy different things. They might not have restock, they might not have repairs, they might not have items available. But they also might have some special items and things available depending on their race and type. Like certain races have weapons and shields much more than others. Others have healing items, they might have hospitals and things like that. And there. Nice landing. Check out the cursed ship. Empty rubber shells. Orb of dark places. Let's grab that. And then I think we're leaving. Lightning is really bad. And in high gravity, lightning can hit your ship. It damages the ship and it turns off your engines for a while. And in a high gravity planet, that means pretty much crashing on the ground and then taking more damage, potentially breaking some of your systems and damaging your crew. So it's really bad. So he has something for me now because I got the item, and they'll probably want it and give some credits for me. Hello. There's your, and they give me we got some respect from them, which will make prices cheaper at their stations, and they like us more. And then we got some credits. Sometimes raising a respect with other race will make some other race not like you more, or the other way. So sometimes you will lose you lose standing with the other races as well when you do good for someone else, and that can be sometimes really bad because you might not be able to access gates and things because of that. But anyways, this is the long journey home. There is still a long journey for us to home, and lots of aliens and encounters to meet before we finally get to Earth. Through all of these clusters here, jumping from gate to gate, all the way back to home. And this is just the little story mode. Explorer mode and rogue mode both have even bigger maps than this and more tightly packed clusters and everything. So the journey is even longer here. But anyways, I do highly recommend this game. It is a really fun. If you like kind of space exploration with diplomacy, mining, all of that trading and everything, with randomly generated galaxies and lots of alien races to meet and lots of secrets to find. I keep finding still, even after 40 hours of the gameplay, all kinds of new stuff. Like yesterday I was like, holy crap, what is that monster trying to eat my face? But yeah, some of the controls are kind of wonky and hard to learn, but once you get a hang of them, they are actually pretty nice. It just needs a bit of time and patience to learn and get used to them. But yeah, I do highly recommend the game, especially now that after the patch that introduced the story mode that will make it easier for new players to get into the game instead of having to just jump into the burning wreckage and trying to survive for a bit. But yeah, thank you for watching this review of the Long Journey Home. And check out the other reviews, let's plays, and all the other content on the YouTube channel, and check out the live stream on Nari.tv where we play games like this, other builder management strategy games, and a bit of a Nintendo Switch stuff every Sundays. And every other day we stream something, the other stuff. Anyways. So anyways, thank you for watching, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.